to A Game for Your Thoughts. Today we're going to be talking about Wolfenstein the New Colossus. So a couple weeks ago I played and reviewed Wolfenstein the New Order, and I loved that game so much, and I'd highly recommend it to anyone who enjoys a great shooter. And with Wolfenstein Youngblood just around the corner, we're going to be talking about Wolfenstein the New Colossus today. And I'm so excited. I love this game and I have so much great stuff to say about it. And this should be obvious, but I'm going to say it. This is an obvious spoiler warning for Wolfenstein the New Order. So just bear that in mind. If you haven't played that game, go and check that out. Or if you just don't care, or if you've already played it, or whatever, let's jump right in. So I always talk about the story first, but this time our story talking is going to be a little bit shorter because I'm going to have a separate video for spoilers. So the story will just be pretty basic, things I like, things I didn't like, and then you can go check out a spoiler video, which I'll put the link below, so you can go and check that out and see all my detailed thoughts about things that happened in the story. So I had quite a problem going into this game because I had never played Wolfenstein the New Order actually until this game came out, and so the cliffhanger at the end of Wolfenstein the New Order didn't really matter anymore because this game picks up right afterwards, which makes sense, right? And so going into this game, it picks up right off where Wolfenstein the New Order left off, literally right off the bat. So with BJ Blazkowicz hanging on for his life after getting blown up with a grenade, his friends swoop in and save him before blowing up Death's Head's compound with a nuclear bomb, and with BJ being like mortally injured, he's like dying and things are not going well for him, so it's up to him to join up with Resistance to help liberate America from the Nazis. So that's just a quick basic run through, but really awesome game, really good story. So with it being just a single player experience, it's just a story, it had to keep you intrigued and involved the whole time, and this game did a really fantastic job at doing that. Just like the first game, this one dives into his story a little bit more. It shows his internal monologue, and his character grows and develops more, which I really liked. I loved that in the first game. It gave him some humanity and realism, and I liked that a lot. It was really great, and this story just continues that and does a fantastic job. There's lots of really great characters, and all your favorites are back, and even at the beginning of this game, you have a little flashback that lets you choose again between Wyatt or Fergus, which I thought they did that really well. It didn't feel shoehorned in there, because obviously you had to make that choice. I preferred Wyatt's story. I feel like Wyatt was a better character, and they developed him more, and I just like Wyatt better. And that carries on into this, and I have a whole thing I want to talk about Wyatt later on. I think he's a fantastic character, so stick around for that and go check out that spoiler video where I'll talk about that. That choice you make, it changes some cutscenes and events in the game. It doesn't change the story very much overall, but there are certain situations and characters that, wait, no, there's not different characters, that's the first game. There's just certain situations and cutscenes that happen in this game, depending on which character you choose, Wyatt or Fergus. I've played this game several times, at least 4 or 5, I think, and I love this story just as much as I did the first time. It's a fantastic story, and it does a great job of tones and pacing, especially with the humor. The first game did this as well, where it threw in spots of humor where it kind of made you laugh or chuckle in a really serious situation. And this game does that as well, and I actually feel like this game does it better than the last game. There's lots of really good situations with humor, but also when it needs to be serious and dark, it is serious and dark, and it's awesome. And as the story progresses, you have all your favorite characters from the last game, but it also introduces a couple of new ones that I really liked, especially Super Spec. You're going to like him a lot. He was really funny and awesome, and you'll just like him. Yeah. If you don't already like him, I don't know why. He's really funny. And Frau Engel makes a return as the bad guy in this game, and she does a fantastic job at it. She's by no means the best villain of all time, but she does a really good job. Her charismatic presence and also evil, like when she needs to be evil, it's evil and gnarly, and you just hate her so much. And as the story progresses, I just continue to hate her more and more. As the overall story, I really enjoyed it. It was so fun, it was enjoyable, and it kept my attention the whole time. It handled tones and pacing really well. But yeah, I preferred Wyatt's story over Fergus, as I felt they developed Wyatt better and he just had a better overall arc. So for the gameplay, it's the same Wolfenstein gameplay you know and love, just killing Nazis as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and it's so much fun. This time things are a little bit smoother and cleaner. The last game I felt was like kind of a little bit slower. It wasn't a bad thing at all. It was still lots of fun and pretty quick pace, but this one just ramps it up even more. You can definitely tell it took some inspiration from Doom 2016 with its speed and movement and things like that, and it was just a really clean, smooth shooting experience. The violence in this game is brutal, it's gnarly, and it's awesome. You now have a hatchet as your melee weapon instead of you can like dual wield knives in the first game. In this one you can have hatchets, you can throw them, and of course you can do awesome combat takedowns and stealth takedowns, and these are brutal and awesome. It's just the fun, classic Wolfenstein violence that makes you kind of go, ooh, ouch, that hurt. I love the guns in this game. It's pretty similar to what was going on in Wolfenstein, but this time in the New Order, this time it's improved and better. You now can dual wield like always, except for now you can choose any combo of guns you desire. Me personally, I always went with my single shot assault rifle and my triple barrel shotgun. I was a completely unstoppable force and it was so much fun. And of course, you can do a cool, like, stealthy approach where you have your silenced pistol in one hand and a shotgun in the other, so you can take out guys silenced with your pistol, but once your stealth breaks, you have your shotgun ready to go. It's so fun to mix and match different guns. It's whatever you desire and depends on your playstyle and what you want to go for. It's so great and it's well tailored. Which brings us on to our next thing, the varied playstyles. This game does a fantastic job of that. Just like the first game, you kind of have three options. You have stealth, guns a-blazing, or a mix of the two. And I always prefer a mix of the two, but this most recent playthrough I kind of went for a little bit more less stealth and more just guns out. And it's all fun, and it's totally whatever you want to do, and it adds so much variety and replayability. Like I said, I played this game 4 or 5 times, and it's still just as fun because situations don't play out the same every single time. Like, I'll have one time where I go through and I manage to stealthily take out everyone without raising the alarm, but then the next time through, I'll manage to screw up somehow, and I'll just have to pull out my guns and take everyone out. And it's a great time, and it adds so much replayability and variety to the gameplay. And this all ties into the perk system. The perk system in this game was done really, really well. It's split up into 3 different sections: stealth, tactical, and mayhem. Yet again, it's tailored to those play styles. If you want to go more stealthy, the more you play stealthy, the more you unlock those stealth perks, the perks to make stealth movement easier, to efficiently take down bad guys. But then if you want to kind of go with a mix of the two, yet again, those perks are they're tailored to that play style. So the more you play, the more you unlock and the better it becomes. And it all just works so well. It's such a fluid system that yet again adds variety and replayability. And to add even more variety, at a certain point in the story you get to add a body enhancement, and these body enhancements change things completely. There's one that lets your body like squeeze together so you can fit into tight pipes and kind of sneak around the area a little bit better, or some like shoulder pads that make it so you can run and charge through walls or through enemies. Some really awesome stilts that add some verticality to your combat. And it's all super awesome and varied and tailored. And of course, you can upgrade and unlock more perks with these enhancements. Yet again, adding more variety. This game is just full of variety, and it's awesome. And this all helps because the more I think about it and the more I've played it, it's actually kind of a really difficult game. The first time I played it, I started out on medium, and I had a certain sequence where I actually had to turn it down to easy because I just kept dying, and it just was like, whoa, this got really hard real quick. I don't know if it's just the style I was playing as, because when I'd get into combat, I'd kind of go like Doom style, where I just kind of run and gun. But I've talked to a couple other people, and it seems like they've kind of had the same situation where they get to a certain point, and then it's like, whoa, this got really hard really quick. It was just really odd for this kind of game, but it was welcome. It added some difficulty to the game, and there's lots of different difficulty choices. You can have like a too easy, easy, medium hard, super hard, and then ultra hard. And if you're crazy enough, you can do ultra hard, where you play on the super hard difficulty, but if you die, you have to start the game all the way over. And I don't know why you would even try that, but if you want to, go for it. But even after you finish the story, there's still more gameplay to do. Just like in the last game, you have like your resistance base, and this time you're on a submarine, and you can explore around. There's named NPCs you can kind of interact with. There's not like a whole lot of interaction there, but you can interact with them. And then you have like a shooting range and an obstacle course, and then of course the classic Wolfenstein 3D arcade machine, which is all fun and adds lots of stuff to do once you're done with the story. Collectibles are back into the missions as well. As you go through the missions, you can find different collectibles here and there to help either increase, there's like weapon modifications that can help you upgrade your weapons to make them more efficient or change them a little bit. And then of course there's the newspaper clippings and diary entries and stuff like that that kind of fill in the lore of the story and build up the world, and it was really, really well done. But one thing they did more this time around is they added kind of Nazi diaries, which was really interesting. And you hear some dialogue between the soldiers as you're sneaking around sometimes, as you can kind of hear them talking and interacting. And you see that these are just kind of normal guys that don't really see themselves as super evil, but to us they're super evil. So you kind of almost feel bad for killing them, but then you're like, oh wait, they're Nazis, and so you don't feel that bad. But it was really cool to see that aspect. And another thing they added for post-game content, which you can do in the middle of the story or after. I usually prefer to do it after, just because then it gave me something more to do afterwards. But they added these hunts for the Uber commanders of the Nazis. They're spread out through different areas of the game that you've previously visited. And as you progress through the game, hopefully you've been collecting the Enigma codes that the commanders have been dropping. Because at a certain point, you use these codes to play this actually kind of fun mini game to unlock these areas again, so you can go back and collect any collectibles you missed, and also track down these Uber commanders. I don't know what it was, but playing that silly little game to unlock the areas was so much fun. It's just like you have like a symbol and you have to like line it up with the other ones. I don't know. It was weird, but somehow really, really fun. But I really liked this aspect. It was really fun, and like I said, it added more to the story so that once you beat the story, you were not just done. You had more to do. Well, I was slightly disappointed that there wasn't like a true ending or like a 100% ending once you completed all these. I was fine with it. It just would have been nice to see that or some kind of conclusion. But it was still so much fun and kept me entertained. But graphically and technically, this game was really, really well done. The cutscenes are expertly crafted and made and detailed. Like the animations and everything was spectacular. But one thing I noticed a lot was the lighting. Even when I was walking around the levels and stuff, the lighting in this game was incredible. I would really love seeing all like the lights and just how everything interacted with the environment. It was so well done. I did have some times when like character models outside of cutscenes, in the cutscenes it was just fine, but outside of cutscenes, for some reason like their mouths wouldn't move very well. I don't know what it is with video games, but for some reason they can't get mouths moving very well. Some games can do it fine, but a lot of games really don't do it that well. I'm looking at you, Fallout. But for technicality, crashes, I didn't have any frame rate. I had like sometimes when like there was like a lot of explosions going on, especially when I was like throwing like lots of grenades or shooting my explosive cannon, which was really cool. But yet again, if there was a lot going on, it did slow down the frame rate a little bit, but it didn't really change anything that much, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Like I said, I never had any crashes. The only other like biggest thing I can maybe think of is that transitions between gameplay and cutscenes were sometimes really choppy. Like you get to a certain area and you like activate something and it would kind of like stop and freeze and load the cutscene, which makes sense, so it didn't bother me all that bad, but it was something that I'd like to point out. So in non-spoiler sense, to wrap everything up, I really loved this game. It was a fantastic experience that I'd recommend to anyone who loves a fantastic shooter. If you for some reason never played this game or just kind of curious, I'd absolutely go check it out, especially with Wolfenstein Youngblood right around the corner. That game's going to be only like $30, and this one's I think it's like 30 or 40 on Amazon right now. So pick them both up, and you're looking at 2 games for $60. It's a great game with great story with great characters. The gameplay was so much fun and had so much variety. There was lots to do, and it kept you entertained for a fantastic single-player experience. So please pick up this game before Wolfenstein Youngblood comes out if you haven't already, and get to making America Nazi-free. So that'll do it for my non-spoiler video. Yet again, I have the link down below to take you to the spoiler video. And go and check that out and see what I thought about some certain things in the story and different situations like that I want to talk about, and also the future of the series and where I think it should go from there. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter and Instagram, and head over to my website at gameforyourthoughts.com to check out my written reviews. So thank you once again for watching, and we'll catch you next time on A Game for Your Thoughts.